Hey, what's poppin' everybody? My name is Chimichangas20 and welcome back to yet another gaming video, where today we're back again with yet another tutorial that we can see working right behind us right now, which is in fact an AFK mob farm. Now I haven't seen a ton of these for Minecraft Bedrock, and I really wanted to make one, and like I said, this is made on Minecraft Bedrock with 0 redstone. You guys heard me correctly. This farm actually uses 0 redstone, not a single piece of dust or anything. It's pretty efficient as well. This farm actually gets around 300 to 400 drops an hour, which is pretty good, and this farm has been running for a few hours, and we can just see some of the gunpowder that we get from that, and it has occasional witch spawns as well, so you might get sticks, glass bottles, maybe even a potion if they're drinking it. It's unlikely, but it can happen. You know, you get create some glowstone, you know, the whole 9 yards, and this thing is actually really simple to make, and it's not super expensive. These hoppers down here you don't even need, and I'll be explaining that in a little bit, but first, let's get into actually creating this farm. So let's go over here to the area that I have marked out, and we'll talk about a few things on the way over. You're going to want to build this thing in an ocean, specifically a deep ocean. How we know that is, I believe it's, this would be an example right here of a shallow ocean, because the land is obviously underneath the ocean, is obviously close to the water, but where I have marked out just up here would be a deep ocean as it goes down quite a ways. Now the reason that we want a deep ocean is to stop any drown spawns and things like that, because drowns will not spawn on in the water blocks, but they will actually spawn on the ground blocks of the ocean, so it just kind of decreases the chance, along with the fact that we're building this thing pretty high up in the air right here. And one thing that I do want to say before we begin is you're going to want to make sure that this is far away enough from the islands. So that island over there is actually out of our simulation distance, so it actually won't be getting any mob spawns. That is a mushroom island over there, so it's not going to be doing anything because it's a mushroom island. But you are going to want to meet those criteria before you build this. This is a very good place to go AFK. Even if it's not close to your base, I would recommend building a nether hub to it. You can use any type of glass block, any blocks of choice for this. So probably the most expensive part of this is the storage. You can use dirt if you really wanted to. Dirt and leaves. You can also use leaves for this as well, but I would recommend using glass because I think it looks better. Anyway, let's go ahead and hop into how to build this thing. Now to start off, you should have a little pattern like this, which is, this particular one is 3 blocks wide. Oh, and that was one other thing, is that the bigger you build this, the more efficient it's gonna be. So just remember that. Okay, so one block, glass block, 1 block, glass block, 1 block, glass block, 1 block, 1 block. Your top block here, I would recommend using a different color or different block altogether, just to kind of give I know the word I'm trying to use. Okay, to make it different. I will think of that word later. Okay, so let's go ahead and hop in how to build this thing. Now you're going to want to extend these platforms like this 25 blocks out. So we'll go ahead and do that by way of time lapse. So we are now back after building that up, and you can see that this particular pillar is a little bit different. So let me explain why. So going around just like this on these bases here with the blocks that have glass blocks above them, not on this top one here, but only on the ones that have glass blocks above them, we're going to place buttons all the way around the side, just like this. Now with that done, we have all of our buttons placed in, and we should have something looking a little something like this. Now what we're going to want to do is come out from the top here, which is in diagonal, so it should look like this. 1 block, we will have 2 blocks, 3 blocks, 4 blocks, and 5 blocks, so we should have a little something looking like this coming off of the side. And then from this block, the end block here, we're going to go 40 blocks down, which for me, I've already marked this out, is right here. We're going to break the rest of those blocks, and right here, we're going to do that on all of the sides we're going to come out 5 blocks and then build a down 40. So let's do that really, really quickly. So we have 1, we have 2, we have 3, we have 4, and we have 5. And then we can connect this up down here. As soon as we get down here, we can connect this up down here, which will be right here. Okay, and then we do this all the way around. So let's go ahead and finish that. Now, what we are building right now is the basis for our collection system. Really quite simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. And we can count that again. I think that's 5 right there. Now let's go ahead and finish that. Let's actually quickly do time set day and weather set clear real quick. Weather set clear. Okay. Much better. There we go. Now let's quickly come across here. Hopefully we should see the shadow any second now. This will definitely be harder to do in survival, but this is an important part of it. So just remember that. I have built way too far for some reason. Where does this block stop is my question. Okay, what we're actually going to do is build down for this one. Odd. Very odd. Okay, let's... I hope I haven't messed anything up. That's always like a worry with these tutorials, is I've messed something up. Because, you know, a lot of things get lost in translation a lot of times when you're trying to translate actually building the machines. So, always a big worry. Let's see, did I do something incorrectly? Oh, I did. No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Okay. Okay, so it should cut off right there. Okay, I'm just dumb is essentially what we've got out of this video today. Let's go ahead and put this back up, and then we will do the next one, which is 5 blocks out in the same. The reason that I'm not cutting this one is because sometimes building in diagonals can be a little bit confusing, like we just saw there. So I just want to kind of show you guys exactly how I do it. So that way, nobody gets confused, and everybody can build this farm properly and with the right rates, and you know, I just kind of want to make sure that everybody can get it. So if I am doing what I'm thinking right now, okay, so we built this a little bit too far down. So what we can do is, instead of building another pillar, what we can do is stand here, drop down, break 1 block. Perfect. Okay, now all we have to do now is connect all of these up, and I will show you guys how to build the system that we're going to be using when it comes to collection. Now, what we're going to do now is quickly fill all of this in, which I'll see you guys once I have done that. Now with that done, we have a little white platform here. Everything looks pretty good. So the next thing that we're going to do is actually connect up this system. So we'll build out a little thing right here. Little thing going this way. Okay, so we are going to be using powered rails for this. You do have to use powered rails, but you don't have to use all of them. Just make sure that the minecart keeps up a decently good pace. So you can do this, and then this will save a lot of iron and a lot of gold if you do it like this. By doing it 1, 2, 3 every 5 blocks, this will actually save you a lot of iron, which is how I'm doing it right now. I'm not measuring it out fully, as you guys can see. I'm using redstone blocks, which is what I would recommend doing, because redstone torches are a nightmare with these things. So just, because, you know, you have to actually, I believe you have to go down, place the redstone torch underneath them, and power the block. It's kind of a nightmarish situation. So just make sure that you actually use powered rails. With that done, now what we can look at is we should have something looking a little something like this. And we can actually see that the farm is actually working pretty well. Even though it's not fully finished yet, it is already spawning some mobs, which is good, but of course we're going to make it more efficient. Now this is the beginning of our storage system. Now let's go ahead and take a look at it. You're going to take your minecart with hopper and place it right here. Now essentially how this thing works, minecart with hopper goes around and it follows a track. It goes all the way around here, and then just starts going up and down. But your last row right here should kind of connect right here, and it'll go up and down, as we can see, all the way back down. So it is a loop. So make sure that it is, in fact, a loop when you do it. And we are going to do time set day, and then weather set clear real quick, so that way we can have some breathing room. Phantoms start to die, and then we can get rid of you real quick. 1 second here. Let's get you sorted. Okay, there we go. Now, with that taken care of, the next part of this is you can do this one of two ways. You can use magma blocks if you want to for things like armored. If you have magma blocks, I would highly recommend doing magma blocks. But you can use normal blocks, although you may find at times if you get armored mobs that nothing will actually happen to them. In fact, they'll take a lot of damage, but because they're wearing armor, even if it's just a helmet or some boots, they actually will not die, and that'll actually decrease the efficiency. Now, for that reason, I would highly recommend using this right here, which is magma blocks, because I don't actually think it's possible for anything to spawn with Frostwalker enchantment on, so you know, that's very unlikely. So I would recommend kind of going around and covering all of the minecart track with magma blocks, which I will finish really, really quickly. Now, with that magma block placed in, you will have something looking like this, and you can cover up the sides of this, but I'm going to leave it exposed so we can see the minecart actually doing its thing, just to make sure that we know that that nothing has happened to it. But we see that we have this, and when mobs fall down here, they'll obviously take damage from the magma blocks. There'll be nothing they can do about that, even if they have armor on. Now, the next part of this is the biggest part, of course, which is making the roof for this thing. Now, the first thing that you're going to want to do is place blocks just like this and connect up these roofs right here. But this, of course, is not going to be enough. So once we have done this, which I will just finish doing right here, what we're going to want to do, and I'll just do it real quick, is you're going to want to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 blocks in this direction, and then the same over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, just like that, and then connect up these edges, just like so. And then do the same on this side, right over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then the same on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. And then connect this up as well. And now, the next part of this is you're going to take this block here on the edge and wrap it all the way around the farm until you get there, and then connect this bit up as well. And we're just going to go around the entire farm and connect everything up, and by the end of it we should have a outline of where we can start filling in some blocks, which I'll just go ahead and finish this up so that way I can show you guys what that looks like. So with this now connected up, we fly up here and we see we have this little outline. Now, these squares do absolutely nothing up here. This was just so that way we could measure everything out. So just go ahead and fill this entire thing with whatever block you're using. This entire platform should be solid, and I'll see you guys when that's done. With that now done, we should see a little shape like this, and this entire thing should be now dark. Now for the very final step, which is quite literally just placing down some torches. We're going to cover this entire thing with them. Now with that entire thing done, which looks pretty kind of weird if you ask me, so many torches in the same place, we are actually almost completely done. Now we can see some mobs are spawning, they're falling off, and the minecart is actually coming around and collecting their drops. Now what I would recommend doing is having this little row right here as a little bit of a place where the hopper minecart can get rid of its items, which we're going to break the things that we just made a little bit ago, so that way we can, you'll see why. You'll see. So, let's just go ahead and do that. And we'll grab this and replace it in a second here. Just like this. What am I doing? I am being dumb. Why am I doing that when I could be doing this, which is so much faster and so much easier? And then all we're gonna do after this is pretty much just connect all of this up, put in a little output chest just here in a second after I put that last one. If I can get it to place down, there we go. We are going to place ourselves a little bit of a chest here. I apologize for the background noise. And then you're just going to take some normal rails and, of course, go across right here. Now then, with that done, that pretty much completes it. We have our input chest, and we can actually see that in the 5 minutes this farm has been running, it's already put out a couple of drops, which isn't too bad. The hopper minecart is, of course, picking up everything as it goes underneath the blocks. Well, with that said, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to leave a like on the video. If you guys want to see more content like this, then be sure to subscribe. And also, if this farm design worked for you, then be sure to leave a like on the then be sure to leave a comment down below and tell me how it went. Anyway, that's going to do it for me, guys. Thank you so much for watching, and see you guys in the next gaming video. Bye, guys.